It's a good thing no one else is here.
Everyone.
Oh, hey.
What's up, kids?
Huh? What is it?
So there supposedly was just a news conference about Gene Hackman's death with new details. Did anybody get those new details?
I did not even hear about that. I know like there was some claim that it was like he fell, right? And then
landed on his dog and his wife. I don't know.
Yeah, well, that was a little bit of a weird one. But let's
Heart
see.
disease.
Yeah.
1 week after wife died. Oh, that's horrible if that's the case. So the wife
cause
was
of death
released. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, after alongside was found dead. She died of hantavirus pulmonary syndrome, which is a rare disease.
Hantavirus.
Hantavirus.
Yeah,
that's not a good virus.
Then he died a week later.
And Hackman had heart disease and complications caused by Alzheimer's and died from natural causes about a week later.
Alzheimer's there.
Yeah. So he was just putzing around his home for a week until he starved to death. That one happened.
I guess so. Hackman's pacemaker last showed activity on February 18th, according to the medical investigator. So Hackman probably died around February 18th. It appears Arakawa died first. Yes, that's what it was. Around February 11th. So,
and he was too infirmed to do anything about it or know what to do. Or
hantavirus is apparently contact with rodents.
Mice
exposed to urine droppings or saliva. Can't be passed between person to person, and dogs cannot have it. So the dog probably died of just, I don't know, not having any food for a week.
That is sad.
Yeah, he's such a classic actor.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Powerhouse.
Gene Hackman movies. My gosh.
Like literally.
There was nobody checking in on him for 5 days. I guess he was living with somebody. They figured she was.
They didn't think,
Yeah,
I
think he was only seen in public before that. I think it was a few months prior, and prior to that, he hadn't been seen in a long time.
Yeah.
So they apparently very much kept to themselves.
Yeah.
This is not so unusual. I've known through my experience preparing taxes, because a lot of our clients are older. Is that we know that some of my clients very much lead reclusive lives.
Yeah,
we're constantly sort of in a position to be one of the few to know kind of what's going on in their lives, because we can see how they do things like organize their papers or communicate with us. They write us things. We can sort of detect when there's some kind of deterioration or change in habit due to advanced age and those sorts of things. It becomes awkward, especially when we know these things, but at the same time we have no one to reach out to. They've never disclosed to us who their family members are. It's not like there's not a lot we can do sometimes in those situations, so it becomes a little awkward for us. We don't.
You don't like. It might be a good idea. I don't know if you can do this, to say, just when you establish with a client, to say, we need in your records your next of kin if we ever need to contact them. Just make it standard so you have that on everybody. Like we do that in the hospital. Like somebody come in, it's like, we need to know who your next of kin is. Like, who's the decision making here if something happens? Like, that's standard procedure.
Yeah. I don't know that we have. I don't know that there's a procedure for that. I don't know that any of the regulations for tax preparation call for anything like that. I'm not.
You may not have to do it, but you could certainly voluntarily do it.
Yeah. In fact, last year around this time, we called the town to initiate a wellness check on one of our clients because she hadn't been heard from in some time, and we knew she was alone, like entirely alone. And the town did go over there and realize there were some issues, and that person is now in a facility.
Yeah,
being taken care
like
of.
for my wife's father, he was in the mild to moderate stages of Alzheimer's, and we had to move him out of his house where he was living alone, get him into assisted living, and then
how old was he at this time?
He
lived to be 100 or something, right?
No, not quite. He was probably in his 80s. He was in his 80s.
He was only 80. Someone.
Yeah, her mother is 97.
That's what I'm thinking.
And she's living alone, but she's really fully functional and independent.
Teaching piano. I mean, it's
still teaching. Yeah, still.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's amazing. She's
gonna outlive us all. Her and
how do we get those genes? I was like,
put that into a pill that we can all take.
Her and Keith Richards are going to be the last two on the planet.
That's very true. Well, there was another death. I don't know if you guys talked about this on the show yet.
No, we didn't. We did not.
No, we didn't.
It was after we recorded. We're going to talk about it next week. But our friend and fellow skeptic Joe Nickell died yesterday.
Yeah.
He was one of the first people that we really got to know well inside the skeptical community when we were first starting off in the 90s.
Yes.
He was really active at that time, an investigator, really the preeminent skeptical investigator on the planet.
Nobody holds a candle to him.
He was out in the field doing it. He was like the only full-time investigator. I mean, he used to say, I'm the only full-time skeptical investigator that exists.
And he would also be the one to appear on television shows when they needed the skeptic, right? He was kind of the face of skepticism for a good chunk of time there.
Super nice guy, really great.
The gentleman sleuth.
I loved his wooden nickel. Nickel.
Oh yeah, we all got the wooden nickel at some point. I think I have a few.
I think I saw him in Logical LA probably, half a decade ago. Damn, man. But he pulled it out. He still had it. It was
he had great lectures. He knew how to tell a story.
Yeah. He was a great storyteller. Fun.
Absolutely.
So fun with that Kentucky charm.
Him,
right.
And he was a Kentucky colonel. He would tell you.
That's right.
Apparently, is a thing in Kentucky. Him and Colonel Sanders.
Gosh, he said he led such an interesting life.
Yeah, he did. He really did.
He was a conscientious objector to the Vietnam War, and actually fled the United States during the draft and went to Canada to to hang out there until it all blew over. And was it President Carter who pardoned him and basically allowed him to
pardoned by President Carter?
Yeah.
I remember him telling me that story too, because he opens up with that. I was pardoned by President Carter. Like without the context, that's the opener.
Sounds pretty good.
Oh, okay. For what?
That's like
then it makes sense. Like, oh, okay, you were one of those. Okay, got it.
But he also had a daughter that he didn't know about. For
late in life, he discovered an old flame that he rehooked up with and basically had a child with that he didn't know about.
Wow.
Yeah, so he was very happy about it. He was like, really,
Yeah.
great.
Oh yeah, no, and they
I
had
remember
to,
that did make him happy.
He said they had the
I hope he was still seeing her
happy
from time to
relationship
time.
after that. Yeah.
Sorry, everybody, for the downers of this.
Yeah,
talk,
Ian,
but
nice
I didn't
going.
bring it
Oh
up.
yeah.
Bringing
Like,
everybody
I brought it in.
down.
Well, you can listen to episode 62, 118, and 270, where Joe Nickell joins, I believe. There might be some others that are
fantastic.
there's probably a couple others. But
We should have had him on again, man. The hell.
yeah, he was 80, which is not.
I know,
very,
80's
not young, but not old. Like, I don't know.
It slightly exceeds the life.
Yeah, it's like it's a little bit.
But yeah, it's too bad we didn't have him around a little bit longer.
Yeah.
So we were talking before we got on about the volume levels on the show. I'm interested in people's opinion.
Huh?
So just so you know,
not on
show
the show,
goes
on the actual show.
On the actual podcast, it goes through three rounds of volume leveling. Right. So the first thing that happens is I visually level the tracks so that they look the same height, right? All the waveforms are the same height. Then while I'm editing, thanks for the what is that? What are you doing? The
me. It's called
sign language interpreter.
Sign language interpreter. Yeah, hearing impaired. Then the second level is while I'm editing the show. If anyone's volume drops too low, I boost it up. Right. So I do a manual leveling throughout the whole episode as I edit it, and then at the end I do a final leveling in Audition, which has a leveler, function to it, and to me it sounds perfectly leveled, but people still every now and then we get emails saying your sound levels are not this or to whatever, but I don't know what else to do.
Yeah, some people say Steve is quiet. Yeah, chat, what do you think? Is Steve quieter? I mean, this could be the thing. Maybe Steve either doesn't like the sound of his own voice, or is so in tune with his own voice he doesn't.
I think my voice is softer. It's not necessarily quieter if you look at this the absolute volume, but it may translate to being a little bit softer.
Mm-hmm. Kara's certainly more energetic than the rest of you guys.
Yeah,
maybe that is like the.
I mean, I could again. I boost my volume so that it's equal to everybody else.
Yeah.
But I could just maybe over boost mine just to compensate for whatever my equipment or just the softness or whatever.
Do you, when it's uploaded, do you then download a copy to listen to check?
I listen to it online. Yeah,
you do. Okay. All right.
And I just did today because we got an email. So I said, let me just see. I went to a recent episode, listen to it from the website. It sounds fine to me.
Yeah. We don't have analog compressors. It's all compressors like in the box.
Yeah.
In Audacity. But what
about, are these things not compressors?
The 1176, the ones, whatever it is, it does have a compressor in it, but I think we didn't enable it. It's light.
Yeah.
It might be.
Yeah.
If you recall, there's also a setting for it to be like retro, which just adds noise. And on one of the episodes, why is it noisy all of a sudden? It's like, oh yeah, they do that to be like, this is the original 1176. Which
putting the static you'd hear on
like,
record,
it's a hiss.
the hiss.
Yeah, I do noise removal. If somebody did that, I would have tried to remove it. Yeah. But I'll just boost my voice a little bit then. I want to get
this might be the actual thing.
I want to get the headphone mic so that the microphone's here. Because I have a big screen. If I look across my screen, this is my screen.
Yeah, he's got an ultra wide.
It changes because I have it different things open up on my monitor at different, in different locations.
Yeah.
So that literally, if I'm looking at the left side of the screen, and now I'm looking at the right side of my screen. So that's how much I move my head during recording. And if I go to my laptop, which is over here, I have to not do that.
Yeah.
But occasionally I will look. I have something else going on over there. I have to remember not to. But again, if I see that in the edit, I could see it. I could see that my voice level drops. I boost it up, and then it gets leveled after that again.
Yep.
So, but even here, some people are saying it's fine, and some people are saying it isn't. So, what does that mean?
It also depends on the medium you listen with. If in the recording world, you have to listen to it, and in so far as they call it, like the car listen to, because you want it on like somewhat shitty speakers after being in the studio with like the several $1,000 speakers. That doesn't always translate to like real world listening. So you do also have to listen to it in a shitty way because just different frequencies respond differently on speaker systems.
Yeah.
So it could be people listening to it on like, in their car and it's boomier, or on the on the stereo.
Oh, there's so many confounding factors. I mean,
so you got to try to level it to make it, the best for as many possible.
Could be anything.
But yeah, I mean, it seems like some preponderance of evidence, at least anecdotally from the chat, says that it's a little bit quieter for Steve. So yeah, we'll make an adjustment on that, and hopefully that'll fix it.
Yeah, we haven't used Skype in years, but we don't record over.
Oh, speaking of things dead, Skype is going away.
We all record locally.
They're shutting it down.
Yeah, May. It's over.
Oh my gosh.
Goodbye,
Microsoft
Skype.
cannot hold on to a product, can they?
Yeah, they blew it during the pandemic. The pandemic was their opportunity, and Zoom screwed it in and
destroyed them. I don't know. Who knows? What are you gonna do?
But we moved from TeamSpeak. When we moved from TeamSpeak, remember TeamSpeak?
God.
That's what we first used, and then Skype.
Skype was a
2003,
great. Skype
2004
was a revolution.
So great!
Yeah,
by a company that's all they did, right? Skype was a Swedish company, I think, or something like that. And then Microsoft eventually bought it and
fucked it up
and screwed it up and
did everything they could to screw it up.
And Jay every other week would complain about it. So much so that we abandoned Skype.
They took something that was working and they changed it. It seems like just to change it, and every change they made it worse. It was so frustrating.
What are you gonna do?
Any Microsoft employees out there care to defend the position?
Yeah, I know.
See in the chat.
No, I don't want to hear I don't want to hear it from them. So there was some other. There was some other news. I don't know if you guys saw what happened to the SpaceX rocket.
It blew up.
It
had a spontaneous disassembly.
Blown up, sir.
Now it wasn't
the
total existence failure.
It wasn't the return
video down from the ship
thing, like the booster that they catch. They did catch that successfully. It seemed like.
No, it was the.
But it was the actual payload, which if it's carrying humans,
the
that's
test thing
a bad
supposed
thing.
To be bringing people to the moon, right?
Right, and you can see it here. It's spinning out of whack because
this is an Artemis
ship.
Oh, that looks normal. I'm watching Gravity now.
You're basically watching it fall back to the Earth. I'm just going to skip forward.
Oh my gosh!
It is pretty amazing that you can get signal though up there to see what's going on live. That's pretty cool. Although they are losing frames.
I bet you it's audio.
They shut it off.
Control of.
But yeah, I mean, there was some debris from that. If you saw, here's this over Bahamas. Here's it broken up.
Pretty, but they had to shut down air travel. I heard
they had to shut down
for a little while.
That would scare me. That would scare me because my first
abundance of caution.
There's chunks of asteroids just about to start an extinction level event.
Here's a fun one. I found what's his face? T-Pain was on his yacht, and he was screaming.
Yo, that's nuts.
He was live streaming from his yacht.
Can you imagine not knowing about SpaceX and seeing this?
Wait, is it coming back down or hey? It's going down, right?
It does look like it's going down.
Wait, is it going back to Florida?
No, that's the stuff that burns off.
Where's the rest of? Where's the one that keeps going?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. It looks like it's
That's
all
it,
going
friends.
down.
That's it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say nothing else.
Anyway, I'll pull it. That's pretty funny.
Does anyone else give like a little bit less of a shit about these rockets now? Like they're
it's not
tainted,
as exciting.
like they're really tainted.
Not really.
Oh, you mean just because of Elon? I mean, there's so many good engineers at SpaceX.
Yeah, I know, absolutely. I can't help.
He's just a ding dong.
You should sell SpaceX and should sell Tesla to people who give a shit.
That would be.
Yeah.
That's the dream.
It's part of the space medium.
Yeah.
And that's it. It just is. And
there's still an ongoing debate about how much credit Musk gets for like Tesla and SpaceX.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I still am kind of in the middle where I think it's like, yeah, it would have happened without him probably eventually, but probably not as quickly as it did. But he still gets credit for doing what he did, the role that he played. So for Tesla, Tesla existed as a company before Musk bought
Right.
it and invested in it.
Right.
And even though he labeled himself the chief engineer, he's not a freaking engineer. That's not what he does.
Right.
Exactly.
So, but having said that, I own a Tesla. It's the best car I've ever owned. I love it. That company under his tenure made a lot of great decisions. In terms of the design of the car, the marketing of the car, and probably the biggest thing they did was investing in the Tesla recharging station network. That
Right.
is still a huge advantage, and the only reason right now that I would buy another Tesla, which I don't know that I can bring myself to do that, but
I don't think
with the only thing, even though there are other cars that are as good, they don't have the network that Tesla has, and that could turn your ownership, experience from awesome to frustrating.
Yeah. It's probably convenient those subsidies he got for some of the stuff.
I mean, a lot of it was government subsidies,
Yeah.
absolutely. But he did invest his personal money through long, lean years until those companies became solvent. And it's not you can't say that like that would have automatically happened from somebody else just as quickly, and they would have made all the same good decisions. Of course, now I think. I don't know what he brings to those companies now.
Oh, Hyundai is able to use the superchargers?
I know that they're trying to cut deals to use that with
Yeah, we
other
talked
companies.
about that universal.
Yeah. Well, he calls
connection.
it the North American standard. He just decided to call it that.
Yeah.
Before like there was any deals to do that. But yeah, so I'm going to look into that now. I know that he's looking to make deals with other car companies that their cars can charge on the Tesla network. Because that's the best thing going for. That's the best aspect of Teslas right now is that network.
Yep.
And that took vision to say that is a key component of the driving experience, and without that, people aren't going to accept this. That was critical, absolutely critical.
I mean, what's the longevity of Tesla at this point? I mean, I haven't taken a deep dive on it. I try to avoid reading about Elon, to a certain extent. But what kind of future do you think it really has? I mean, I think based on what little reading I've done about it, I think
the company in general.
they really, I think they really blew it when they didn't come forward, when they didn't fulfill the promise to create a much cheaper electric car for that. Like say like legit $25,000 to $30,000.
Yeah,
and then he just went into to Cybertruck craziness. And now he had that buffer. He had years where he
squandered his lead.
He squandered that lead.
And
now these other companies, these other car companies that have been doing it for decades or more, now that I think they're just going to steamroll. I mean, that's how it seems to me.
Oh, okay.
Am I wrong? Who's more well read about this stuff? I'm not sure, but that's how it seems to me, that they're kind of like it's going to be a slow. I mean, look at the sales of the Tesla sales all over the world.
They're tanking.
They're tanking bad. In some countries, they're just like the curve is going way down. I mean, how viable are they even now as a company compared to with all this competition? I read his margins are like so slim now. So his margins are below the industry standard. That's what I read. I don't know, but see what people say.
The infrastructure investment, very few. So did any electric chargers get built with the infrastructure money? It's happening. It's just taking time. Unfortunately, longer than it should have. I think it's in the hundreds. But when it should have been in the tens of thousands eventually. But the fear is that now Trump is just going to kill it. They're just going to not allow the funds to go through, even though they were approved by Congress, even though it's illegal and it's unconstitutional. They're doing it anyway, and the supine Republicans don't appear to give a shit. But that was the hope, was that we were going to get tens of thousands of recharging stations from the infrastructure bill. Hopefully, it'll to some extent, because I think that's where we are right now. I mean, the fully battery electric vehicles are great. They are great, and they're soon going to get a lot better. In 2026, 2027, we're going to start to see cars with the silicone anode lithium batteries with basically twice the energy density and specifically
Twice.
twice.
That's nuts.
We're about to double, basically, and that's like
the range or halve the weight.
Yeah, or some combination of those two
Yeah.
things, right? So it would be easier. So we could go up to like making 400 or 500 miles sort of a standard range, which is way more than
How much
anybody
more
needs.
expensive is the
But-
technology?
But basically obliterate range anxiety while reducing the size and weight of the battery, reducing the cost of because it's you don't need a big a battery. They probably will keep the cost the same, just to boost profits. You know what I mean? But you'll get a lighter, longer range battery. We'll see. But that's coming. And it's not just that one company. It's the Empress. It's also like Panasonic, which makes a lot of the EV batteries, is also coming out with a silicon anode lithium-ion battery. It's just happening. It's just the technology's there now, and it's
The
happening.
genie's out of the bottle.
It's
taking on a life. It took on a life of its own.
Right.
No doubt.
And if you have a charger, if you own your own parking space where you can have your own charger, it's that again, it's so much easier to own an EV than even a gas car. But it's still nice when you go on long trips to have a network of chargers that you can go to. And again, if you for owning a Tesla, it's fine. We can always find a charger. Like it hasn't been a problem yet.
Yeah.
But I can see if I didn't have access to the Tesla chargers, I could see how that'd be a problem. Someone says, I hate it when people say this, but they're all too expensive right now. So they're not. They really aren't. They're a little more expensive, and it's only now really just a little more expensive up front, but they are cheaper to own for the lifetime of the car.
If you're gonna keep it
For the life
of a car, which
It
is
doesn't
what,
have to
14,
be-
14 years or something.
No, you don't have to keep it for 14 years. I think the payback time is really just a few years before. Because yeah. So, but yeah, because essentially they're cheaper to operate because the electricity is cheaper than gas. It's also nice to not have to even think about it when there's like spikes in gas prices, like when that happened a couple of years ago, and people are complaining about the high gas. It's irrelevant. You don't care. So it's more predictable. And the other thing is there's no freaking maintenance. These cars have no maintenance, just the tires.
Yeah.
But that's it. There's no like belts or oil change, whatever. It's amazing. Like my wife has been driving her car for 5 years. She had to like have the tires rotated or whatever, switched out once. Zero maintenance on the drivetrain, right? None in 5 years. That's amazing. You have to figure that into the cost too. Meanwhile, like in my car, which is just about as old, I just spent $3,000 on whatever, just stuff that happens to the engine when you drive it. You know what I mean?
The only thing that I've seen, and I'm going to bring it up, is that it might be more expensive because of the Trump taking aim at the electric vehicles the administration, which is specifically the 7,500 tax credit and also lower interest loans. So there may be something there that it is going to be more expensive.
He'll definitely delay the progress.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Although the progress seems inevitable.
Inevitable, but he seems to be making it harder for us to get it, which is very annoying.
But Steve, when I was in the market, I mean, what do you say? Like, for me to get an electric car a couple of years ago when I was in the market, that was even close to what I had wanted. $20,000, like a $20,000 difference. That's a lot of gas. That was
during the pandemic spike. That is not a fair comparison. That's not the way. It's not that way right now. I remember that was during the worst possible time to do a comparison.
Average price of a new electric vehicle in the United States in 2024 was $56,371.
Fuck that.
Yeah, it's an expensive car.
But you have to compare them to a similar ICE vehicle, right?
Yeah.
So if you and then of course it depends on what vehicle you're talking about. If you're doing like an SUV, you pay more of a premium for the BEV.
Yeah.
But if you're doing like for most like sedan, so say like BEV sedan versus ICE.
Oh, $49,000 for an ICE. So that's only a $7,000 difference.
Yeah, right.
Not too bad.
It's a $7,000 difference, which is completely made up for by the tax.
Not everyone qualifies for that credit, by the way.
If you make a lot of money, you're not, or if you're not buying American or.
But it's also the number of cars I think that they sell a year, right? Isn't there like a limit to the amount of tax credit per
There's a
brand or something? There's like
a lot of provisions. Yeah.
$49,000 ICE car. What the hell? That's
Yeah, the average price 2024 average price of a new ICE was
Everything's-
$49,270.
My gosh, everything's
Jeez,
expensive.
it's expensive.
I mean, I would.
It is.
Yeah, either way, kind
I
of.
think
you
that
know.
sounds inflated to me.
But the thing is, if you're financing your car anyway, it's not like you're paying it all up front.
No, that's true.
And then you have to compare, like, what's the monthly nut if you compare the and some companies do this. I know Tesla does this. They say here's how much the loan costs per month. Here's how much it costs to operate your car per month. And even though the loan is higher, the operating costs are lower, and it basically it's a wash. And they do it that way deliberately. You know.
Yeah.
Resale value.
Anyway, it's more just the predictability. The lack of maintenance is huge. I mean, I'm just telling you, it's awesome.
Yeah, that is
Not just suddenly be stuck with a $3,000 cost of having to fix. I mean, the mechanics telling you the shit that you don't understand. You're like, okay, I guess we got it.
It's always at least
that sounds
$500.
dangerous. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
I never bring my car in for an oil change without. Yeah, you ride spending $500 so they find
It's
something.
like something.
Yeah.
Hey, you want me to change that cabin air filter? It'd be
Whatever. There's so many moving parts. I mean, it's.
And if you're not a guy, they'll try to rip you off even harder.
That's true. They do.
Like, young lady. Remember when Kara had her incident with the truck or something? And they
Oh my God.
and they called her honey or something.
Oh, honey.
Like, oh my gosh,
God.
you insane.
Steve, that reminds me of a short story I read. These two guys were driving across the country to rob a bank, and they stop in the middle of nowhere at this place that's got a diner and a garage, and they go to the garage like, yeah, our car's making some noises. Can you check it out? And the guy the mechanic does the classic maneuver where every time he looks at the car, yeah, I found these problems. And the bank robbers were like, at first they were like, all right, we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe that was a problem. All right, we'll pay some more money, make those repairs. And then he kept coming back with more repairs and more repairs. And eventually got to the point where they were like, it was such an obvious ripoff that they said to him, you know what? You go through that car and repair anything you think that needs repairing, everything and anything that needs a repair, but only if it needs it. And then they went to the diner across the street. They were eating their cherry pie, whatever. And then they go back and the bill was ridiculous. So of course they pull out their guns, they rob him blind and drive away. It's like, screw you, dude. We weren't going to make any assumptions until you took it way too far. So now we're just going to rob you blind. And they had a good car. They drove away a car that's a lot of new parts.
Hey.
But I never forgot that story.
Well, there might not have been new parts. There was a guy. You guys saw this documentary. It was about this. It was like an expose on this scam. These mechanics would drive around, get behind some retired couple's old, what do you call it? The trailer.
Oh yeah.
And then or whatever. And then like signal them to pull over and say, "Oh, we can see some smoke coming out of your Huziwatzer, we own a garage. Bring it in, and we'll check it out for you." Then it was a whole scam. They just scam them into replacing some like $2,000 part, which they just are giving them from the last people that they scammed. Right? They're just switching them forward each time, charging them thousands of dollars. Exactly. And it was 100% scam, a 100% scam, and they caught them doing it red-handed.
Wow,
scumbags, man.
Yep,
bastards, bastards. Well, there was another space issue. I don't know if you guys saw this. The Athena lander.
I did.
This was like a commercial company, right? That launched it.
Second one to land something on the moon.
Second one to land something on the moon, but it landed, I think, sideways. And
Oh man.
Oh no.
The solar panels can't charge, and they don't think it's gonna actually work. But apparently they had like a bunch of little robots and stuff on it that they were gonna like launch, and like there's a bunch of those.
Like a little swarm or something.
Yeah, like a swarm of stuff. But I don't know.
Swarm of drones, like all buzzing around the moon. That'd be cool.
But they can't write the probe.
I know. You'd think. Come on, they need a kickstand.
Maybe they need to design these so that they, an arm extends or something.
They need like a battle bot. There's those battle bots.
They can upright themselves, right? You take an arm here, and hoist itself out, right?
Speaking of robots, here's my latest acquisition, which I kind of love. So it's Nomad. It's a little die-cast metal Nomad, which is pretty awesome. But it got me thinking about Nomad, and Ian, I'm posting a link here. I was thinking we should have a thing where we announce like here's a new object, a new sci-fi gizmo we're going to print on our 3D printer, which I never hear. Like, are we printing anything? I found in that URL is a YouTube showing this guy. He 3D prints a life-size Nomad, and it seemed. I think we should do it. I mean, because
well, of course you should think that.
Yeah, let's make a life-size Nomad. We could do the lighting on the inside and then throw some sound files in there.
Hang up,
string
it up by a couple wires.
That'd be a fun project, right?
Yeah.
Right. But
does he have the files that you need?
Yeah. I just found it. You know,
they never explained
5
the
minutes
propulsion
before the
mechanism.
show, so I'm not sure. But I mean, finding the files online, that's not a problem. I'm
How'd
sure.
that thing get around?
Easy.
By the way, they never explained that, right?
No, the thing hovered.
Yes, using what?
Oh, well, you know, anti-gravitic plates, obviously.
Totally silent.
I'll never forget. Rocinante, yes.
Yeah.
Oh
Rocinante?
man,
That's a pretty ship.
The Rossi, man, with that torch drive. Man, those torch rockets were just so.
That was the name of Don Quixote's horse, right? The Rocinante.
I don't know. Is it?
I believe. It
Oh
was.
wow.
Yeah. So it's a what is it called? Quixotic or Quixotic? Its name.
Quixotics. Yeah, you're right. Rocinante.
I just finished the Expanse. Loved it, but I was a little confused at the end because they brought in a different plot about the settlers on that planet, and they found those creatures, those dogs, the strange dogs, and the kid died. So it was a different plot. So I was like, what? And at the end of the series, I was like, wait, what happened to the kid that died that was resurrected? And I realized that's covered in the subsequent books. And I'm buying there's a book that occurs after the series called Strange Dogs. It's like a novella. It's a short story. So I'm just fascinated by those strange dogs, because what those creatures were, those are bioorganisms that are basically repair organisms. All they do is repair stuff. So they were left by the old ones, right? The aliens that were wiped out, and they could repair anything. You put it near them, and they will take it away, like Santa Claus with the broken lights on the tree, and then come back and they will fix it. And I love the scene where this kid died, which wasn't the great scene, but the kid died, and the sister brought the kid to these strange dogs, and they repaired him, but the kid was messed up. He was a little like, I don't know, man. He was just weird, but still functional, but it just wasn't quite there. But because they never met a human before, so they didn't quite know. And he was also dead for hours. I kept saying, "Hey, your brother just died. Bring him to the dogs right now. Don't wait." But she had to wait till everyone left after the wake and the funeral, and she wheeled him out, and they repaired him. And but I was like, I want more of that so much. I wanted more of that. So I'm gonna buy the book where it goes into more detail what happened there.
Thanks for the spoiler.
But oh man, but it was so cool. Oh. And yeah, the way the kid would see people would be, I don't know what frequencies of the electromagnetic spectrum the kid was looking at, but it was pretty wicked. It wasn't just visible light. But the kid kind of had the same memories, just didn't quite know. As soon as the parents saw him, the parents were freaked out, and they put him in a closet and they locked him in there because they were like, "What the hell is that?"
Isolated.
Hey, it's better than nothing. I mean, the kid was basically resurrected. I wouldn't shun him like that.
It was the uncanny valley, though.
It was bizarre. It was just interesting how the parents immediately were like, "What?" But it was cool.
Well, getting back to the original point, Ian, do you think you could print a life-size Nomad?
Sure, life size.
the
It'd have
thing
to
is,
be in different pieces that you did.
yeah,
I
you
would
make the panels.
assume.
I mean, basically, it'd be the panels that, and you could print any length, right? It's just the width, really. That's the
It's
main.
basically the width and the height, and the length could be anything. Well, within reason, because like eventually it might snap, and I might
It'll
not have
hit your
enough
wall
room.
or something.
Yeah, in the room.
No,
But
it'd
yeah,
probably only be about this
Yeah,
long.
you-
The
you
longest
could
piece would
print
only be
that.
like that.
yeah, we could certainly print that. Yeah, that would be cool.
I might as well
If you
show
give
my
me
other
the
my other Nomad. This is another model that I never painted,
Nomad
and I lost the
robot.
antenna. It's a pretty decent detail. You can't
That's
really
not
see
wrong.
from there, but I lost the antenna, so I may need to use that 3D printer to
Sure.
create that
Yeah, we could do that.
antenna. But I'd have to
send me
get
the file,
the
and it'd be
that,
good.
well, that's I'd have to get the right file, which is the right size.
I'm sure
I don't
somebody
know.
probably has that on like Thinkiverse, I think is where a lot of people share files. That's where we could do. Are you guys doing any prepping in the potential oncoming collapse of society?
Sure.
Because maybe there's this
Just my usual
option,
level of
just your usual
prepping,
level of prepping.
yeah.
I don't know if you've seen something like this. Have you ever thought of keeping bees?
No, I've
Yes.
never thought of keeping bees.
No.
Yes, I've
That is
Thought about it?
inside
I mean, you
my
could have bees
house.
outside your
There's
house.
the
I guess
outside.
maybe that
Window
Here's
beehive?
the
I don't know if I would
inside.
want them that
This is an
close to my house.
observation line.
If
Like,
I
how
had
do you
You can
control that?
see right
from-
there the bees.
Like,
They come
okay,
in
bunch
and
of
out.
them just start going into another part of the house, and
if I had bees
You see-
outside in the apocalypse, they would be the murder bees.
Oh my god!
Absolutely.
True.
So
Oh, those
anybody,
Murder hornets?
Murder
I feel like-
anybody, and
yeah.
murder hornets. Anybody approaching my house, release the hornets.
Of course, you wouldn't be able to leave your
And,
house.
Yeah, how
but
would you?
I probably
you-
wouldn't want to leave,
that's
but
true. I agree.
I think it's a good idea. I just thought about it.
Mine would be tracker jackers.
Oh yeah, that's it. That's
hell's
the
that?
one.
That's
Hunger
Hunger
Games.
Games.
Hunger Games.
I don't know how
Those
you get
things
the
are
honey.
nasty.
I guess the honey drips
Nasty.
down at the bottom. Is that tray down here? Or something?
I imagine that's right. Or they usually
You
take
just
the
put your
honeycomb
cup underneath
out,
it like you
right?
do with the refrigerator, and the honey.
Yeah,
goes
you
down
pull
into
it. You press a button.
Or tap, you know.
Because presumably you have to get the comb and cut it out of the comb. I don't know. Well, whatever. It's an interesting project. I don't know if I would recommend it, but what are you gonna do? Oh wait. We had a segment with your mother, right, Bob? Didn't we have a segment we were gonna show with your mother? Let's see.
Your mom's coming on the show?
Yeah, she's coming on the show. Hold on. Let me bring
Cool.
in
I think
the
it's.
novella. There it is, right there. There
she
she
is.
is.
Oh my
There's-
God! So,
there's your
You're number
segment
one,
for
Bob.
ya.
Look at that. You're
Number
number
one.
one.
so that's
Oh, wait.
my mom. I brought my mom to Olive Garden. This is from a couple days ago.
And that's
And
what she thinks
There's
of
the
it.
salad and the goddamn breadsticks.
The
Which and I
bottomless
had,
salad and
I
breadsticks.
did not have one breadstick. I'm very proud of myself.
I don't believe that for a second.
I didn't, dude. First time ever, but I
don't
did.
believe you.
And I found they had a grilled chicken margarita that was, get this, 60 grams of protein, which seemed a
lot.
little
Okay.
inflated because that's a huge amount of protein to have
That's a
in
lot of
one
protein.
meal. But I ate the whole damn thing. It was awesome. So I asked her, "Ma, flip me off. I want to take a picture," and she agreed. She readily agreed. Usually she's like, don't take a picture of me. I look too old. And
Looking
so
good.
of course I sent the picture to everybody
Yeah, that's a good picture.
on our
Looks good.
on our
Looks classy.
chat group, our family chat group.
That should be on a t-shirt. We should put that on a t-shirt.
I haven't seen Pat since Julia's wedding, I think, was the last
Yeah,
time I probably
okay.
saw her. It was September. Huh. Too long.
Oh boy. All right. Well, we do have a food guesser. You want me to
Yeah.
show that other picture,
guesser?
Bob?
I've got about 15
Yeah,
minutes,
sure.
Ian. Just
Yeah,
so you
so we
know.
can do a
I'm-
food guesser
I'm
on
gonna
that.
I'm gonna bail at 6 tonight.
Okay.
because,
Yeah.
you know,
Sorry, everybody. Yeah, Evan has
I have, like-
taxes. He's got to go back to.
you don't even want to know. Let me
We can
tell
all
you.
bail.
Nobody wants to know. All right, let's look at this one picture, Bob. Here, it was something from 2019. You can't really see it, but like it's
Oh crap!
somebody had.
Bob, stripes are not your thing.
I can't zoom in.
So yeah, so that was
Oh,
a
wait,
pirate
the other guy.
pirate Halloween party, and that's my ex brother-in-law Merrill, and he has no leg below his left knee,
Mhm.
and so I was very happy, very proud of him because he took the party very seriously, as everyone should, and he made a peg leg for his stump that he wore as part of his costume, and I just came across that picture a couple of days ago. I'm like, oh my god, that's awesome, and I love the grisly look on his face.
Yeah.
But the But the peg leg was such an probably one of the best.
How
the
functional
best.
is that thing?
I don't know. You know what?
I mean,
I
it
think
doesn't
I was
look
at
like
this.
it would give you much support or kind of
I
stability.
think I was at this party, and I think that's my hat right there.
Oh my God, that's awesome! How awesome.
Oh my gosh, we can see Ian in this picture.
No, you can't. You can see a hat.
That's whenever I have a pirate party, which is like, I don't know, once a decade. That's my pirate drinking flask thingy.
Yeah, that's pretty
I
cool.
think I have it right over there, but I just throw my booze in there, and like that's what I drink all night out of that one damn thing.
Look at
What
that.
else?
All right.
Yeah, that was just a fun,
That's a fun
goofy
picture. All right, let's get to the real content of the stream.
I do have a taxing
FoodGuessr.
day.
You're ready, everybody.
FoodGuessr,
Taxing
yes.
day. Daily. Here we go. Ooh, okay.
I mean, those look
Corn.
like banana leaves.
Oh,
right?
Yeah,
let's see.
corn or tamales.
Toast,
Corn,
what do
sugar,
they call
milk,
it?
coconut
Not
milk. Tamales?
Tamales, yeah.
Yeah, then that definitely looks like kind of a tamale.
So this is South America.
But the thing is, it's corn,
maybe?
sugar, milk, or coconut milk.
Coconut
And usually, I mean, at least the tamales I have are usually savory, right? Like beans and chicken and
Yeah, I mean, the corn makes it seem in the Americas, like
Yeah,
South,
Mexico,
South
yeah.
American.
The coconut milk, that doesn't seem American though, right? That's like more Asian,
Yeah.
Indonesia.
And banana leaves also. Well, bananas could be South American as well.
Right. But this is that a banana leaf or is that a
Yeah.
or where were there banana leaves?
Oh, is it banana leaf?
Well, it says the corn husk or banana leaves.
Oh.
You're right.
But those
You're
look
right.
like banana leaves. I thought they're too wide for corn husk.
Mm.
That could be corn husk.
Yeah, these ones, the yellow ones.
Yeah, that could be corn husk.
So do you want to say
Yeah.
a Central
I've cooked with
America
banana
or-
leaves. They're awesome. You could basically use them like tinfoil, and they give whatever you cook in them. They give it. It's like a nutty flavor. It's
Well, the
really
tamale
nice.
kind
Little
of
oven
same
kind of thing.
idea, right?
Yeah.
Hawaii, somebody says. I mean, what do you guys think?
I was thinking Central America.
Central
somewhere,
America of
but,
some sort, yeah. Somewhere with maybe a Asian influence because like coconut milk maybe came
the
from.
coconut milk? I don't know that that's a deal
is
breaker.
Are there coconuts in Mexico? I don't actually know.
Well,
I don't know.
Coconut.
Something in the Central America or the north of South America.
The north of South America. All right. What do we
Right.
what do we got? Colombia, maybe?
that's south of North America.
That's south.
Is
the
it Colombia?
South of North America.
You want Panama or you want
You want Panama?
Guatemala or you want
I think it's Guatemala.
El Salvador, Belize.
Guatemala. Oh, cool. And it is south
Geez.
east of that.
So cool means how far away? Like wrong side of the planet?
No,
Cool?
it's probably in South America.
Okay.
So Argentina.
Argentina. Oh, borders.
Borders. Well, you have what?
And it's called
Chile,
Pamonja.
and you
Pamonja.
have Brazil,
Yeah, it's like Chile is next to Argentina.
Uruguay, I
Brazil.
believe, is next to it.
Does it touch Peru? It's like up at the top. Okay.
I don't
I don't
know.
think not Argentina.
Definitely
Chile.
Chile.
All right, Chile.
All right, Chile.
Chile.
Nope.
Nope, it's the other direction. So
So it's on the
east
Eastern
coast or east.
Is that Brazil?
Brazil.
Does Brazil border Argentina?
Yeah,
There
it's
it is.
Brazil. Pamonja. Oh yeah, the H I guess is probably Portuguese.
Portuguese.
Yeah. Traditional Brazilian dish. Yep.
Looks good.
That's from Tupi. Mm-hmm. You know what? I found a place in Hamden. It has nothing to do with Brazil, but I was in Hamden today. There is a Puerto Rican restaurant in Hamden that is like really, really good.
Oh yeah. What's it called?
It's called La Isla.
La
It is
Isla?
like it doesn't look like much, but you go in there,
La
it is
Isla Bonita.
Island.
it is
right?
good. We went in there because my daughter's name is Isla, so we were like, let's go to
Aw.
Isla, and it is really good. So next
It's
time,
in Hamden, huh?
it's in Hamden. The next time we
Where
get
in
food,
Hamden?
it's like 5 minutes from your house because I needed to reset it.
Everything in Hamden's 5 minutes.
It's like Whitney Ave, maybe a
Whitney-
little.
Everything's on
Everything-
Whitney Ave or Dixwell.
everything-
Whitney or Dixwell. It's one of the two.
Hey, watch it. Okay, here we go. Next one.
Didn't
Here's some beans and corn, kidney beans, onions, tomato, green pepper, salt, oil, curry powder.
What's the giveaway here?
What's the giveaway? I don't know. I mean,
It says it's-
corn.
Corn, kidney beans, onions, tomato, green pepper, salt, oil, maybe potatoes.
Optional. Curry powder.
The dish is a wholesome traditional blend of boiled maize.
I mean, they kind of give it away with the maize.
Yeah, you'd
Again,
think,
we're dealing
right?
with
Yeah,
kidney
America
you're going to be.
It's
and
enhanced
beans.
with potatoes, tomatoes, onions, various local. Curry powder is an interesting one because that
Yeah.
probably indicates some sort of cross-cultural exchange, right? Often enjoyed as a main meal as side dishes.
Kidney beans. I mean, it could be Mexican,
Could
but
be.
yeah, the curry powder is interesting. Optional. But that could be more of a modern.
Because that would
introduction.
maybe be the so-called West Indies or whatever, like, Caribbean, or Caribbean Queen. What do you guys think?
Beans.
Bob's thinking about Olive Garden.
Caribbean.
Yeah.
Bahamas. This doesn't look Peruvian to me, I will say, but I don't know.
okay.
Could be some random.
Unlikely. There would
Honduras.
Honduras. Okay. Ice cold, and it's to the east.
If it was
So I
Ice
wonder if
cold. Does
that
that mean different continent?
ice
could
cold.
mean different continent. I mean, Honduras is Central America, right? So you'd think Caribbean.
So we got to go other side. We got to go.
I would maybe
Asia.
across the ocean.
I think Asia.
Dominican Republic.
I mean, it could be like an African, maybe, with the curry powder.
African with
Could
the corn.
be.
And the
I don't know.
tomatoes?
Maybe not corn. I don't know. You're right. It's in the Gulf of America. There, yeah.
They use spoons,
also-
whatever it is.
West African. Somebody's saying.
All right,
maybe?
let's go West Africa.
Okay,
I mean,
so,
ice
okay.
cold. I mean, I'm surprised at that.
What's West African? Like Gambia,
Gold Coast.
Morocco.
Morocco, right?
I don't think it's Moroccan.
I don't think it's Moroccan, but
Yeah.
let's say
Foods
Nigeria,
Moroccan.
Niger.
Don't come a knocking. Got you, Ian.
Dominican Republic. I mean, I think we're gonna try to cross the ocean and see
how
if there's
about
Go ahead, yeah,
Nigeria?
go ahead. Nigeria. Okay.
Cool.
Wow,
And
it's
we have to
cool
go
and it's further east. So it could be like
That's not
No,
Africa.
we have to go to Somalia,
Right? I think we have-
look at the word
That
Githeri or Githeri.
Madagascar.
Githeri. Githeri.
That means nothing to me.
It doesn't necessarily. It kind of sounds African, maybe. Githeri.
Do Somalia.
Somalia, interesting. Somalia. Ooh, borders, very good. And it's south and west.
Kenya.
Bam, you got it.
Oh, Kenya.
There we go. Succotash, Githeri, Murum, Muthari.
Succotash.
Interesting, the corn. Yeah,
Corn and beans.
Githeri. It originates from the Kikuyu something community in central Kenya, where maize and beans are staple crops. There you go.
Okay.
Interesting.
Huh.
That's interesting. Didn't know that. All right, so that's cool. Moving on. Oh, whoa. Millet flour, sugar, water, vanilla extract, grated coconut, sometimes peanut butter, sometimes salt.
Ooh, peanut butter.
That piqued his interest. To make this dish, you roast rice until golden. That golden rice. Then grind it into a fine flour. Mix the flour with water and shape it into small balls. Cook these balls in coconut milk, sugar, and a big pinch of salt. Suck on my peanut butter chocolate balls. Simmer until the mixture thickens and the balls are tender. Serve chilled or at room temperature for a
I
sweet.
mean, so it sounds Asian, you know.
Yes.
Yeah. Tibet, Madagascar, Guyana. Blech? Who said blech? That's not a New Zealand yuckers. That looks pretty good.
Coconut and peanut butter. Wait, Thailand, right? They have peanuts and things.
Could be.
Thailand. All right, Thailand.
Could do.
I buy it.
Thailand, warm but further
Go
east.
East and south of Thailand. East.
I mean, what's further
Vietnam.
east? Vietnam, yeah, like
Cambodia.
Japan, possibly because it's north and east.
It's kind of
China,
Why does it
maybe?
swing like that? Stop this.
Philippines.
Philippines. Could be.
Could
Philippines.
be.
Oh,
nice.
hit it. Nice.
hit.
Direct hit.
Nice.
Bayi or Baye. Traditional Filipino.
Bye.
Bye.
When they're all
Specifically
gone.
from a specific city, they're just categorized under kakanin, which refers to Filipino snacks made primarily from glutinous rice. Glutinous. I like my rice with extra gluten.
Oh, I like gluten.
I like my snacks glutinous.
That's right. All right, final score. Here we go. Boom. All right.
All right.
Not terrible. Not a
Certainly.
major one, but we did okay. All right. What do we got? How many minutes? We got 5 minutes. Any questions before we
Burning
announce? Burning.
5 1-minute questions or 1 5-minute question?
The burning.
Or two 2.5-minute questions.
Question for the rogues. If repetition is the most significant factor in disinformation belief, as we recently learned,
Yes,
why wouldn't it work the same for truthful information?
it does.
There you go.
Yeah.
That was easy.
Yeah, it's also it's a great it's not only for belief but for memory as well. And in fact, so this is a good studying tip. What the evidence shows that if you want to memorize something, do you guys know how you should study?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
I mean, basically repetition.
Yeah,
I mean, what's the
repetition,
nuance?
but there's one added layer to the repetition. Do with the timing of the repetition.
Like
I don't know what.
Increasing intervals.
Increase intervals.
Yeah.
Oh, increasing intervals between the learning.
So
Okay.
you look at it and then you look at it later that day, then you look at it the next day, then you look at it 2 days later, then you look at it a week later. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Increasing intervals of repetition seems to be the most reinforcing.
Okay.
Why doesn't Kara have a doctor in her name on the about page? Ian, have you not updated the about page?
You haven't flushed your cache. Chatter. Clearly, that is the problem. Not something I forgot to do at all. You go flush your cache a couple times.
Is that really it? I mean, is it updated? Just
cache flush?
No,
that's his story, and he's sticking with it.
Did you say we're flushing cash?
Yeah, we're flush with cache. Just
that will be updated,
and it'll be.
That is a disgrace. Gosh, why does she even give us the time of day?
Yeah, I know, and it's 3 hours delayed or ahead. No, delayed.
All right.
Oh, yeah, daylight savings on Sunday, 2
Mhm.
a.m., 1 a.m., 2 a.m.
This
For all of
weekend,
those.
huh?
Yes, I
Isn't
know.
it a
We're
little
about
early?
I'm about
It
to
feels
lose an
early,
hour.
doesn't it?
Well, yeah, they changed it a few years back when they,
Yeah, it's Sunday.
Is it like-
Sunday.
Is it like a
Sunday.
week or two early? Because spring is the 20th, right?
Spring is
March 20th.
something around there.
Something like that.
Around 19th, 20th.
When is spring?
Ben.
Spring.
20. It's from the 20th to the 20th of June. March 20th to the
25.
Yep, 2020. Make a wish.
This says it corresponds to Monday, September 22nd.
What? But that's 2025 or 20 because
2025.
what? This one says Thursday, March 20th, 2025 is spring in the northern hemisphere.
Oh, spring. You're talking about the seasons?
Okay, wait.
Wait. Two different things.
Yeah.
Astronomically
Daylight
speaking.
savings.
Thursday, March 20th.
Yeah, the first day of spring equinox, which falls on March 19th, 20th, or 21st, which is interesting to note. Depends.
Yeah, March 20th.
Did you know you can stand an egg on its
You can.
and on
That
that
is
day?
true. And
you
on
know what
every
you
other
can?
day. Yeah.
No, you steal my thunder.
Yeah, we saw it
You
coming.
can stand on your head every other day, too.
That's one of the very early skeptic lessons, like for kids. It's wonderful.
And there's a trick where you stand something on its edge. I don't know if it's only with an egg or other things, but you secretly have like a grain of salt on the table and you're propping it up on that.
Yeah.
And makes it much easier.
A little assistance.
Quick, what's this robot from?
RoboCop.
RoboCop.
You have 10 seconds to comply.
That's right. I'm complying. You have 5 seconds to comply.
That was a good movie, man.
That's a hell of a way to roll out that tech. Let's test it.
Is
on
it?
one of our board
I haven't watched
members.
it so long. Does it age well?
Not really.
I don't know.
I didn't think so. It's,
I think it might.
it has
I
a
think
campy
absolutely-
feel to it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it would
campy-
absolutely be campy.
And the extreme gore never gets old. I mean, that's just like
No, I get that, right? And that's part of the campiness in a way. Like the guy who falls into the vat of acid or whatever, that kind of.
Maybe
No,
that'll be
spoiler alert.
a
Yeah.
Discord bonus we should do. Watch these terrible old movies.
Oh,
Did it age
absolutely.
well?
We should.
Totally.
We
The
should
casting, the
MST3K
casting
that,
was good.
all
too.
those things any day of the week.
I'll
we will
buy that
That's true.
for
The
$1.
cast is pretty good. I'll buy that for $1.
I'll buy that for $1. I remember that.
We can MST3K Prometheus all day long.
True.
Ian,
All
this
right,
is
that's
why
6.
Isla is a Spanish restaurant, not Portuguese. Not,
It says
Puerto Rican.
Spanish, but it's Puerto Rican. It's like they also say it's Puerto Rican. It's not Spain Spanish. They just mean like
Oh, I see.
like how
Hispanic.
white people call everything.
Everyone's
Like,
saying
they
I'd
mean,
buy
like,
that for $1.
Yeah,
That's
but it's
the
all
takeaway
Puerto Rican
from
stuff. It's pretty
RoboCop.
awesome.
I'd buy that for $1.
we'll try it.
Yeah, you should try it. We got like what do they got? That was good. I don't know. Well, you don't like fish, so never mind. You won't eat that. But they
No.
have the chicken. The chicken was really good. So said my
Mhm.
daughter, and the yellow rice and the beans and everything. It's really good.
Why
Mhm.
is Phil Plate going to beat me?
Uh-oh.
Someone says Phil Plate's.
Oh yeah,
threatening
there was the
violence
March
against
for
him.
Science, right? Or the Rally for Science that was happening this week. Bill Nye was there. Phil Plate was there. For science.
Where was
I
it?
don't know if you guys. It was in Stand Up for Science is what it was called.
Oh yeah,
There were
Kara's been to that rally
thousands,
before, right?
yeah, thousands rallies called for Trump to reverse research cuts. It was and there was a bunch of them all across the country too. Apparently, it wasn't just DC, but it was outside of the State House. If anybody wanted to go, it was today. It already happened.
Ides of March next week, a week from today.
That's true. They live streamed it. Oh yeah, you can watch it. Watch it back. That's
Oh
good.
yeah, definitely watch it. No doubt about it, guys. I do have to go.
Okay. Yes. All right.
There's,
Let's go.
many people who need my help right now, so I'm
Okay. We'll call it early.
All right,
Superhero.
so
Bye, people.
All right.
Bye,
Good
everyone.
weekend.
Thank you,
See
Ian.
you on
Have a good
Thanks,
weekend.
Ian, it was good to see you in that picture of the hat.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, the hat's pretty good.
Yeah.
Correction. All right.
I'll
Bye
never
bye.
Take care,
guys.
Skeptics Skeptic's Guide to the Universe is produced by SGU Productions, dedicated to promoting science and critical thinking. For more information, visit us at theskepticsguide.org. Send your questions to info@theskepticsguide.org. And if you would like to support the show and all the work that we do, go to patreon.com/skepticsguide and consider becoming a patron and becoming part of the SGU community. Our listeners and supporters are what make SGU possible.
I'm still here, but we'll see on Wednesday. I'm not going to keep you. I gotta go. See you guys later, I guess. Ian is like Maris from Frasier. I understand that reference. All right. Well, go ahead and do your taxes, I guess. Evan is busy. Can't do them for you. Make sure you come into Nauticon. Hopefully, if you haven't signed up, go ahead and get those tickets, everybody. We got some fun additions that will be joining us, and there's some fun programming. Who's pinging me? Who's discording me? Boom. Just Ian. Sad. What do you mean, just Ian? Sad. Okay. Well, anyway, thanks for being here. We'll see you on Wednesday. More fun stuff. Oh, remember, if you have links that you want us to talk about that you find, also not just like TikTok weirdities, but like links that are fun for the live stream, post them in the Discord, or you can email them to us. But post them in the Discord. Thanks, everybody. See you later. Bye.